The global landscape of trade and technology is shifting. China, a dominant player in the production and export of critical materials, has made a bold move. It has restricted the export of key materials to the United States. This decision has sent ripples through the global economy, raising concerns about supply chains, national security, and the future of US-China relations. China's dominance in these sectors is undeniable. It has spent decades building its capacity in mining, processing, and manufacturing. This has given China significant leverage in the global market. The recent export restrictions are a stark reminder of this leverage. This move has exposed vulnerabilities in the US economy. It has also highlighted the intricate interdependence of nations in the 21st century. The United States, for years accustomed to global dominance, is now facing the reality of a multipolar world. This situation underscores the importance of strategic resources. It has also ignited a debate about economic security and national competitiveness. As the US grapples with the implications of China's decision, the world watches closely. The stakes are high, and the outcome will shape the future of global trade and geopolitics. The semiconductor industry offers a prime example of China's strategic export restrictions. Semiconductors, the tiny chips powering everything from smartphones to fighter jets, are now a focal point in the US-China trade war. China, a major supplier of the raw materials needed for chip manufacturing, has tightened export controls on gallium and germanium. These two elements are crucial for producing the high-performance chips used in advanced technologies. The US, heavily reliant on Chinese imports for these materials, is feeling the pressure. The export restrictions have exposed a critical vulnerability in the US semiconductor supply chain. This situation underscores the importance of securing supply chains for critical technologies. It also highlights the need for diversification and domestic production. The US is now scrambling to find alternative sources for these essential materials. This includes exploring partnerships with other countries and investing in domestic production capabilities. The semiconductor struggle is just one example of the broader economic competition between the US and China. It highlights the importance of technological independence and the need for strategic planning in a world increasingly defined by technological advancement. The US is responding to China's export restrictions with a multi-pronged approach. Recognizing the need to secure its supply chains, the US is actively exploring alternative sources for critical materials. This includes strengthening ties with allies like Australia and Canada, known for their reserves of rare earth elements. In addition to diversifying its supply sources, the US is also ramping up domestic production of critical materials. Government incentives are being offered to encourage companies to invest in mining and refining operations within the US. This push for domestic production aims to reduce reliance on China and enhance national economic security. Beyond securing supplies, the US is also investing in recycling initiatives. Recovering critical materials from electronic waste, batteries, and other sources is seen as a sustainable way to reduce dependence on foreign imports. Research and development in material science is another area of focus, aiming to find substitutes for materials currently sourced from China. The US response to China's export restrictions is a testament to its adaptability and determination to maintain its technological edge. By diversifying supplies, boosting domestic production, and investing in innovation, the US aims to navigate this challenging landscape and emerge stronger in the long run. While policymakers grapple with strategic responses, American consumers are starting to feel the pinch of China's export restrictions. The immediate impact is evident in rising prices for goods that rely on the restricted materials. Electronics, from smartphones and laptops to electric vehicles, are becoming more expensive. The scarcity of critical materials is also disrupting supply chains, leading to delays and shortages. Consumers are experiencing longer wait times for certain products, while some items are becoming harder to find on store shelves. This disruption is fueling frustration and uncertainty among American shoppers. The situation is particularly worrisome for industries heavily reliant on Chinese imports. Manufacturers are facing production slowdowns due to material shortages, forcing them to raise prices or delay deliveries. This, in turn, is impacting businesses and consumers alike. The economic fallout of China's export restrictions is a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of the global economy. It highlights the vulnerabilities of global supply chains and the potential consequences for consumers when these chains are disrupted. Section 5. Decoding China's playbook, motives, and strategies. China's decision to restrict critical material exports is a calculated move with both economic and geopolitical implications. While China maintains that the restrictions are based on environmental concerns and the need to protect its resources, the timing and targets suggest a strategic response to U.S. actions. The export restrictions can be seen as retaliation for U.S. trade policies, particularly the restrictions imposed on Chinese technology companies. By leveraging its dominance in critical material supply chains, China aims to exert pressure on the U.S. and gain leverage in trade negotiations. Furthermore, China's move is part of a broader strategy to enhance its global influence and reduce reliance on Western powers. By controlling the supply of materials crucial for advanced technologies, China aims to bolster its own industries and secure a dominant position in future growth sectors. China's export restrictions are a clear signal of its willingness to use economic leverage to achieve its geopolitical objectives. This move has added a new layer of complexity to the already strained US-China relationship, raising concerns about the potential for further escalation and economic decoupling. Section 6. A New World Order Reshaping Global Trade. China's export restrictions are not just a bilateral issue between the US and China. They have far-reaching implications for the global trade order. This move has exposed the fragility of global supply chains heavily reliant on a single country, and has accelerated the trend towards regionalization and diversification. Countries are now reassessing their reliance on China for critical materials and seeking to diversify their sourcing options. This is leading to new partnerships and alliances as nations prioritize economic security and reduce their vulnerability to geopolitical tensions. The concept of friendshoring is gaining traction, with countries prioritizing trade relationships with like-minded partners who share values and economic interests. This shift away from a China-centric global supply chain will have profound implications for trade patterns and geopolitical alignments. The global trade order is undergoing a period of significant transformation. The rules-based system that has governed international trade for decades is being challenged by protectionist policies, geopolitical rivalries, and the rise of new economic powers. Section 7. Charting the course, potential future scenarios. The current standoff between the US and China over critical material exports presents a range of potential future scenarios, each with its own set of implications. One possibility is a negotiated settlement, where both sides make concessions and reach a trade agreement that addresses their concerns. However, the deep mistrust and strategic competition between the two countries make a quick resolution unlikely. A protracted trade war, with escalating tariffs and restrictions, is another possibility. This scenario would further disrupt global supply chains, stifle economic growth, and fuel geopolitical tensions. Another scenario involves a decoupling of the US and Chinese economies, with both countries reducing their interdependence and seeking greater self-sufficiency. This would lead to the emergence of distinct technological ecosystems and supply chains, potentially fragmenting the global economy. The future trajectory of US-China relations will depend on a complex interplay of economic, political, and technological factors. The outcome of this standoff will have profound implications not only for the two countries involved, but for the entire global order. Section 8. The Art of the Deal. Diplomacy in a time of tension. Navigating this complex landscape requires a delicate balance of firmness and diplomacy. The US needs to stand firm in defending its interests and protecting its technological edge while keeping channels of communication open with China. Engaging in constructive dialogue is crucial to address concerns, manage differences, and find areas of potential cooperation. Diplomacy, while challenging in a time of heightened tensions, remains essential to prevent misunderstandings and avoid escalation. Multilateral forums, such as the World Trade Organization, can provide a platform for dialogue and dispute resolution. Strengthening alliances and building coalitions with like-minded partners can also enhance the US's position in negotiations with China. Finding common ground on issues of mutual interest such as climate change and global health security can foster cooperation and build trust. Section 9. A new era of strategic competition beyond economics. The current standoff over critical materials is just one manifestation of a broader strategic competition between the US and China. This competition extends beyond economics, encompassing technology, military power, and global influence. Both countries are investing heavily in artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and other emerging technologies that will shape the future. This technological race has profound implications for national security, economic competitiveness, and the balance of power. The US and China are also vying for influence in key regions around the world, from Southeast Asia to Africa. This geopolitical competition is playing out through infrastructure projects, military deployments, and diplomatic initiatives. The world is entering a new era of strategic competition, characterized by a shift in the global balance of power and the rise of new technologies with transformative potential. The US and China, as the world's two leading powers, will play a defining role in shaping this new era.